Hey everybody, hope you guys are healthy and safe. So this is the Honor Magic V3. This is the global version. It just launched in Germany at the IFA event about an hour ago. Now I've been using the Magic V3 for a total of well over a month because a month ago I paid for the China unit and I made a video on the China version of this phone already. The China version and this global version have the exact same hardware. So the only difference is in software, but there's a lot to talk about with software because this global version of Honor OS is just so much better. It's so much more well integrated with Google, including Google's AI cloud services. And also Honor's Magic OS is now very usable and functional and has one of the coolest home screen features that I've seen in a phone yet. And if you have watched my previous videos on Honor reviews, you know I have in the past been quite critical of Honor's software, the Android skin. I was not the biggest fan. I've always complained about Honor's Android skin before, but Magic OS 8.0.1 improved so much that this is now one of my preferred Android skin. Now I'm going to talk about the software features very soon, but first let's go over the overall hardware. I'm not going to spend too much time on hardware because I already made one whole video on the hardware a month ago. So check out that video if you want to know more details. But basically, this is the lightest and thinnest foldable phone in the world. Although the Xiaomi Mix Fold 4 only loses to it very slightly. So the competition is getting very heated in China. But if you compare this to the Galaxy Z Fold 6, it is no contest. It's really funny that Samsung made a big deal about the Z Fold 6 being thinner and lighter, but yet compared to the Honor Magic V3, this guy still feels like a brick. It is over 3 millimeters thicker than this guy and weighs another 10 or 15 grams heavier. This is about the same thickness as most flagship slab phone, especially if you put a case on it. So this is absolutely the best in-hand feel among all the other foldable phones, along with the Xiaomi Mix Fold 4. Like I said, Xiaomi and Honor right now pretty much neck and neck in terms of hardware innovation. Even the Vivo X Fold 3 Pro felt a little bit bulky after using this guy for a while. I love this in-hand feel. So you have a 6.4-inch outside screen on the outside. Notice that the bezels around all four screens are symmetrical, unlike the upcoming Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold. You know, a lot of American media are saying, oh, the Pixel 9 Pro Fold's hardware looks so good. But if you look on the left side of that foldable, that hinge sticks out so much, and you have a corner that protrudes so much from the screen. You don't get that with the Honor Magic V3. When you look at this phone straight on, it looks like a normal phone and it feels like a normal phone in the hand too because it is so thin and light. But of course, the star of the show is the main display on the inside, 7.9-inch panel. Now you'll notice that the crease is also very faint. So what else? You have a triple camera system, 50 megapixel main camera, f1.6 aperture. So that's a very fast aperture, especially on a foldable phone. Sensor size is okay, 1/1.5 inch, not the largest one around. You have a periscope zoom lens that can shoot at 3.5x zoom, and it's a 1/2.5-inch image sensor. So not the biggest if you compare to slab phones, but in the foldable space, this is a much larger sensor than what's in the Galaxy Z Fold 6, for example. But it still falls short to the Vivo X Fold 3 Pro. If you want the foldable phone with the absolute best cameras, the Vivo X Fold 3 Pro is still it. Unfortunately, battery life on the Magic V3 is not that great. Now, I am a very, very heavy user, especially on weekends. I will usually leave the house, hop on my bike, and then ride to a coffee shop. And then at the coffee shop, I'll be texting, checking emails, all that, and I'm always filming videos and posting on Instagram. So follow me on Instagram too, by the way, if you haven't. I have a lot of photo samples from all the devices I test. So anyway, I'm a very heavy user, and on these type of heavy use days, after 6 or 7 hours, this phone will already drop down to like 30% battery. In fact, you can see right here in these screenshots, if I were to stay outside for 12 hours, this phone will not last me 12 hours for a heavy user such as myself. So a major reason why I think battery life on this particular V3 hasn't been that good, it's because it is running the global version of Magic OS, meaning it's the version of Magic OS meant for use outside of China. Inside China, Honor phones run on China version of Magic OS. And the global version will not kill your notifications the way the China version does. If you don't know what I'm talking about, good for you. That means you have not experienced the frustrations of using a China ROM phone, because I use it a lot. So it's not just Honor, whether it's Honor Oppo, Xiaomi, Vivo, when you use the China version of a phone, a lot of times you will notice that you don't get your notifications in a timely manner. Like you'll open up WhatsApp and suddenly see 10 messages come through that were sent 5 hours ago. The reason for that is because for some reason, China version of the software have very, very aggressive battery management. So any app that you're not actively using, China version of the software will kill the apps in the background. And trust me, you would rather have a little bit worse battery life and get all your notifications in time than use the China ROM. Now, speaking of software, let's take a look at MagicOS. Like I said, I was not the biggest fan of MagicOS before, but with MagicOS 8.0.1, a lot of improvements have been made. One, I really love this free home screen grid. It's completely free flowing. So check this out. I have an app folder right here, right? You know, it's a conventional app folder that you've seen on all Android and iPhones. But on MagicOS, if I long press on this, I can resize the folder. And check it out, I can resize it into an unconventional shape like a rectangle. That's not all. I love that with most apps, you can expand the app to show a direct action. So for example, let's look at Grab. Grab is Southeast Asia's version of Uber. So it does car calling service and also food delivery. On the new MagicOS, you can now long press on Grab, resize it, and then you see you open shortcut buttons. So now I can directly jump into ordering food, or I can directly jump into calling a car. There's also this new feature named Magic Portal, which I like a lot. Basically, Magic Portal allows you to quickly share something to another app. So I'm gonna long press on this photo. If I hold it for more than a second, I can now lift it up. And then you see a little blue bars on the side. If I bring it to the side, I open up this Magic Portal menu. So you see I have a bunch of app selections. I can choose where to share this image. I can immediately send it on WhatsApp if I want. I can choose who to send it to. And it doesn't just have to be photos. I'm in WhatsApp right now. If I long press on this text, I can lift an entire text and then share it to another app. I can send it to somebody else on email or Line. And then likewise, if I tap onto address, I can immediately bring it to Google Maps. So Magic Portal is quite useful. Another feature that I also find useful, but it's a shameless ripoff, it's Magic Capsule. This is basically Honor's version of Dynamic Island. So you see, whenever you're playing audio or even video, you can have a control that plays into the selfie camera, and it works just like Dynamic Island. Now, I am a fan of Dynamic Island, so I think this is quite useful. I think it's visually kind of aesthetically pleasing, but you know, you have to call it out. That's not original. This is a complete clone of Apple's Dynamic Island. Now, another part of Honor software that I now really like is that it plays very nicely with Honor's own product. So I have the Honor Magic Pad 2 right here, and the tablet are now connected already because I use Honor's Magic Ring. But let's turn it on just to show you how it works. So this is the Honor Magic Ring. I'm connected to the tablet. If I tap on the tablet, I can screen share, drag the screen share over here, and then I will be able to control the tablet on my phone. That is, I mean, a lot of people may be like, what's the point of that? And I don't know, I think it can be fun. Like a lot of times, maybe you have this tablet on a table showing a presentation. You can control the presentation with your phone without needing to walk over to the tablet to interact with it. And likewise, you can do it the other way. You can share your Honor Magic V3 screen to the Honor Magic Pad. And then also, when it's connected, the Honor Magic Pad will know to automatically use your phone's data if there's no Wi-Fi. So if I go to a coffee shop and there's no Wi-Fi at the coffee shop, I'll get a little notification here asking if I want to use the data from my Honor Magic V3. Another thing I really like about Honor's global software is that it plays very nicely with Google. It doesn't try to hide Google stuff the way other Chinese phones might. In fact, the Honor Magic V3, the global version, has AI features powered by Google Cloud. So that's basically the exact same AI features in the Galaxy Z Fold 6. It's just that Samsung completely gives it a whole new marketing name like Galaxy AI. But make no mistake, stuff like circle to search, the generative AI photo edits, it's not powered by a Samsung chip or anything. It's all powered by Google services on the cloud. So the Magic V3 in theory can do the exact same stuff the Galaxy Z Fold 6 do. There is no circle to search, but you can use Magic Portal, like drag that picture to a Google image search and do the exact same thing. You can do generative AI photo edits here, just like on the Galaxy Z Fold 6. You can do live two-way voice translation, and the voice dictation is also very accurate because it is using Google's AI features. So it's very awesome to see Honor phones play so nicely and so well connected with Google's ecosystem, because for a few years that was not the case. And even now, when I use the Vivo X Fold 3 Pro, for example, I like Vivo phones a lot, but they don't really like seamlessly connect with Google the way Honor is right now. Like when I use the Vivo phones, I still have to use a lot of Vivo's feature. Likewise with the Xiaomi Mix Fold 4, well, that's a China ROM of the phone, so I don't have any of that Google stuff on the Xiaomi Mix Fold 4. So when you factor in all of that, the Honor Magic V3 is my favorite foldable phone right now. The hardware is impeccable. The in-hand field is so much better than the in-hand feel of the Z Fold 6. It feels so thin and light. The in-hand feel is so much better than the in-hand feel of the Z Fold 6. This guy is so thin, I can actually put it on my bicycle's phone clip and it doesn't wobble the way foldable phones used to do. And having access to Google AI directly on the device and things like this free-flowing home screen really just makes the experience that much better. It kind of feels like I'm using a Pixel device right now with all the Google features that I have, except the hardware is much better than any Google device. And I guess I should talk about the camera performance a little bit more, although I covered that quite in depth in the first video already. But I'll show you some photo samples here. I think for the most part, the main camera is really good. I do like that Honor now, the processing tries to go for a little bit more of an organic film look with deeper shadows, a little bit more contrast, kind of similar to what Vivo and Xiaomi have been doing for the past few years now. I have to give credit to Xiaomi. They started this trend with the Xiaomi 12S Ultra. Ever since the Leica collaboration, they've been putting out photos that look a little bit less processed, a little bit less digital, look a little bit more organic, more analog, and that's what Honor seems to be doing here too. I think these shots for the most part look pretty good. You're watching main camera, ultra wide, telephoto. So yeah, this is the Honor Magic V3. If this phone is selling in your market and you're interested in foldable phones, I think you owe it to yourself to go to a store and check it out. I think once you pick it up and then you look at the Z Fold 6 and you hold them side by side, it is no contest, man. Like, this hardware is just so much better. So yeah, that's about it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this content. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. It will help me a lot. Thanks for watching.